Hey guys, this is the gear for today. Remote learning and the Gillette Platinum razor blade. 5 uses on it roughly. Vintage Gillette Aristocrat open comb. The 15. The 15 is probably what it is. I think the 21 may be another one that has this same razor. Dogwood Handcrafts and Briar Brushworks handle here. Declaration Grooming B13 28mm knot. So we are going to do a slurry lather today, and we did one recently with this soap and this brush, and I think I needed more load time. And one of the reasons was because that I think I didn't quite load enough. Is I did 20 swirls, but this was a brand new puck at the time. And now this has had one use on it. We've deposited a little bit of moisture on it. It's been capped up since then. So I wonder if that same 20 swirls is going to give me a different experience this time. I'm also going to make sure I have plenty of water on my brush. Maybe even to the point of too much water on my brush. To identify a vintage Gillette Aristocrat, some things to look for are these T-tabs at the end of the center bar. Some of them have a notched where there's no T right here. Just comes straight, and then there's a notch. That was a gimmick to be able to get blades out of a nuke dispenser that they had back then. The base plate here is flat. It's solid. It's not a triangle pattern. This tech here has that indented triangle surface. It would be a different set number. It would be a lesser cost Aristocrat if it had the triangle base plate, if everything else was the same. This one's an open comb, so that's obviously something to look for. There weren't nearly as many open comb Aristocrats as there were solid bar. The portion right here is pretty much flush with the 2 knurled areas here. It's actually a part of the turning knob, I think, right? No, it's not. It's the opposite. It's a part of the handle up here, but it's pretty much flush, but it's not knurled. The 16 and the 66 are very similar razors, but they are solid comb, solid bar. But they don't have, it's not flush right here. There's a gap where the knob can move up and down. Also, it's a hollow handle. Those are some things to look for if you have an Aristocrat that you're searching online. Those are some attributes to look for to compare them with razors that you see online. Get my face wet. Remote learning supposed to smell like Doritos. A cheesy corn chip here in America and some parts of the world. I do get kind of the corn vibe if I look for it. And I asked my kids to smell this soap over the weekend. They also came away with the same first impression, the majority impression that they got from it was cinnamon, a sweet kind of cinnamon. It reminded, and I said Trader Joe's cinnamon schoolbook cookies, and they said, yes, that's exactly right. So, and I think that sweetness does transfer to the corn as well, because corn has some natural, subtle sweetness to it. And so that's, I think, probably the reason why it's in there. All right, so I still don't get really cheesy. I have to really try to twist my brain to get cheesy from it, and it's very light. All right, so we're going to do 20 swirls, and let's see if there's a difference. Okay, this knot is full of water. Let's not shake out quite as much water as last time. That should be about right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. Then I'm going to put the excess, like slurry from inside the tub, because there was a good bit inside the tub here. No need to waste that. That little water can kind of replenish my brush in latter passes, you know, that kind of a thing. All right. So slurry lather means we just take what just came off the tub. We gently start working it. Oh yeah, there's that water. This brush on that particular pivot of a round motion. See, look at that. By now, my bore brush would have put together a much better slurry. So you know what? Let's go right back to the tub for another 10 swirls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, obviously once you use a soap a few times, you get enough water in there where it's picked up. And who knows, I might be just discovering something about these dense Badger brushes that mean they have to be treated differently in a slurry lather. There we go. See, that came up a little quicker. The Badger these dense Badgers may hold less water than a bore brush. That could come into play. That's more what I'm looking for. Although it's still not quite as... See, yeah, I think it's moisture. I don't think these Badgers quite hold water the same way as the bore, and it's affecting the shave. Now, remember that water I had down here? Let's see what happens if I kind of go back and dip a little bit. Now that is more what I'm used to getting with the slurry. So we're playing around with it. We're seeing what's compatible, what transfers, you know. Well, a few days of growth on me, but it's just not going to be a problem with this razor. Even the solid bar version cuts me very nicely, cleanly, and efficiently, taking down a bunch of hair. This is a case where the open comb is not an aggressive razor to me at all. I love these old Aristocrats. In many cases, they're just so beautiful and well put together, well crafted. It's like using jewelry every day for your shave, you know? I think it might be that the Badger, these dense Badgers, don't hold as much water because they're so dense. There's less room for water between the bristles. And that's one of the keys of a good slurry lather, is that it is laying down soap on your face. But it's doing it in the context of a ton of water surrounding that soap, that little small soap layer. Cross grain now. So this razor did not have a problem dispatching multiple days of growth. No change in technique needed, no extra passes. Because right now, I'm back to the point of, 95% of the stubble's gone. This is taking care of most of the rest. And then the third pass is just going to be, maybe to clean up a few extra stray hairs. So that is interesting. If this brush just doesn't hold as much water, this type of brush, there are plenty of other different high density Badgers out there. Will they all have similar issues? it'll be interesting to see. Now, in where I spend a lot of my time over on Reddit, in the wet shaving sub over there, a lot of people really enjoy these high density badgers for good reason. They feel great. When you're doing a concentrate face lather, to some people at least, they feel great when you're mixing up a bowl of lather like I normally do. So again, this pass here is really just kind of for clean up, a few stray hair purposes. Little tricky spot right there where I've learned I need to reverse direction. And there we go. Yes, a very messy method. I'm the statue, the brush is the razor is the pigeon, and I got wiped out. So that's the third pass. I'm gonna get a good rinse now. So then here's the question. What kind of a lather do we have left in the brush? Do we have concentrate in the brush? A lot of concentrate? A little quick spin in the bowl here should tell us. Nope, we don't. We don't. We just had a little bit. So, we could try 30 swirls next time. Try to increase, see how far we go. Be interesting to see. Let's keep playing with it. The soap here, it's less strong, and I'm not really picking up a difference in the scent when it is lathered versus when I just smell the tub here. Washed off the threading. Cap it up for next time. Keep a little bit of moisture in there. Maybe next time we'll try 30. 30 swirls. Because then I see two weaknesses so far with this shave. Potential weaknesses. I didn't load enough soap. Because as you can see, we didn't have an excess of soap at the end. So I didn't load up enough soap in the beginning. And number two, the brush seemed to shed its water pretty quickly. It didn't seem to really be able to keep a reservoir of water inside of it. Now, next time I may vary things up and do a synthetic. Can't wait to do that. Try out synthetics with the slurry method. Wouldn't it be funny if the slurry method is just a method that's really for the boar brushes, primarily? I don't think that'll be the case. No, you know what? I tried a badger, but it was a standard density badger, like a silver tip from Whipped Dog. It was a standard density, not this high density stuff that these premium brushes have. And it did great. So it's fun playing around with this kind of thing. And what will we use for, what do I want to smell like today? Let's use up some balm. I need to use up some of my balm. And I've got some Scarn right here from Stirling. Face is still wet, so this should especially spread around easy. Stirling's a good quality balm in my perspective, and also I've heard from other people as well that it definitely bats above its pay grade, and it's a good quality balm. Now, if you really have highly dry skin, then you may find it lacking, and matter of fact, it may be a tough thing for you to find a good moisturizer for the end of your shaves. I've heard that CeraVe is a good one. Of course, it doesn't really have a scent. I've also heard from another guy. He has dry skin, and he recommends this Aquavelva Sensitive 5-in-1 as a very good moisturizing post-shave balm. Oh yeah, that Scarn's got a nice little, very light scent. The Platinum did a great job in the 15 razor. Vented a little bit here to get some, allow for airflow. And it can just safely sit there on the counter. Obviously, if you have kids, you don't want to set your razor in your blade on the counter for them to get. And so that's today's shave. The remote learning is a good performing soap. When I did get it on my face, it had a wonderful slick layer. I did experience and feel that during the rinses, so I knew it was there. The water content seems to be a little on the low side with this brush. And so we will attack the two problems next time with load more, and then I don't know if I can come at it with more water. I can try though. I mean, I really had a lot of water in it. It seems to dump water and not then hold back. It's one thing to dump some water out, but then to have the ability to contain a reservoir in the bristles somewhere. That's what my big boar here was able to do. Boars absorb a lot more water in their bristles than badgers do, and so that may be part of it. However, if this guy, he can hold quite a bit of water, but maybe I need to treat him differently in terms of how much I shake out. You saw when I was doing those rotations, it would flick water out on a regular basis. So that's another interesting problem to come at. I could just approach it in changing one variable. Let's load more and see what happens. I could also leave it more sopping wet, kind of come at it with trying to change two different variables. And sometimes that's fun, but if it still fails, you don't quite know which variable was the one that made a difference or didn't make a difference. And we'll play with it more next time. Oh yeah, Scarn's nice. I think it's Sauvage is inspired. It's one of the popular colognes that it's based off of. So that's nice. All right, well that's it for today. I have the red shirt on, so that means my little red dot on my camera right there can sometimes make me think I'm recording when I'm not, but it looks like I got everything right this time. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. All the best to you. Take care.